In section 5, we're going to continue dealing with angles. And this time we're going to look at specific angle relationships. There are quite a few angle relationships, and then we'll look at perpendicular lines to finish. So first, some different angle relationships. We have what are called adjacent angles, linear pairs, vertical angles. We're going to start with those. We'll get some more as we move forward. The first one, adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are really angles that are right next to each other. So for example, angle 1 and angle 2, those are adjacent. They share a vertex, they share a side. These angles right here, angle 1 and angle 2, those are also adjacent. They share that vertex and they share this side. Some non-examples that they give, be a little careful with this first one. They're talking about angle 3 and then angle A, B, C. Those are not adjacent angles. Angle 3 is located inside of angle ABC. Another one that they have is angle 3 and angle ABC. Notice how those don't share a side and they don't share a vertex either. So those are not adjacent. Next, we're going to look at a linear pair. A linear pair is adjacent angles that deal with opposite rays. If you also want to add adjacent or linear pairs, add up to 180 degrees. I would possibly make that note as well. This is a great example as to what a linear pair looks like. Angle 1 and angle 2, they're adjacent, and they form 180 degrees or a straight line. The last one are considered vertical angles. Vertical angles are formed by two intersecting lines, and they're across from each other. So angle 1 and angle 2, those are vertical, and angles 3 and angle 4, those are vertical from this picture over here. If you want to also make a note of this as well, vertical angles are congruent. They have the same measure. Okay, so let's look at an example. Letter A, two angles that form a linear pair. There are a bunch of them. Remember, a linear pair, we're looking for a straight line. So I'm going to draw in a straight line in here. You can pick any one of them, and then I'm going to make this one. Okay, that looks like a linear pair. So the first angle, this one right here, would be considered angle U. Oh, this is not a very good letter. I'm going to use that as an L. So angle ULQ and angle QLR form a linear pair. Next one, two acute vertical angles. So remember, vertical are going to be formed by two intersecting lines. So I'm going to create, here's one line, here's another line. Remember, vertical angles are ones that can be located across from each other. I'm going to use this top one and maybe this bottom one. I could also use the ones on the side here. Those would also be considered vertical. If I use the top one, PLQ, start with that one, angle PLQ, then the one that is vertical with that would be the one on the bottom, which is TLS.